Shalom, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai. Let's all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect across the planet Earth, pushing this truth in the spirit and sincerity and truth. So I got a couple articles regarding the job market and how a lot of this new technology, artificial intelligence technology, is going to be taking a lot of jobs, specifically in like the tech industries and the white collar jobs. But eventually, all these jobs are going to go away, per the prophecies of the scriptures. But yeah, we're in that time where knowledge has been increased, and that we are at the time of the end. Ultimately, this technology is going to get to a point where it's going to affect the monetary system, the money system, and part of this man's new world order. Right when he's about to fill his belly, part of that filling of the belly, or the NWO, the new world order. So they want to, chip everybody, put in a mark of the beast. What scriptures refer to as the mark of the beast, which is that implantable, microchip. You won't be able to buy anything or sell anything. At least you have that mark. So it's going to be tied to the money system in this new digital technocracy that we are entering into. So the time is near. But this is out of a article or publication called Mashable.com, entitled. So it's dated May 25th, 2026. So the survey says 99% of executives are prepared for AI layoffs in the next 2 years. Meanwhile, employee anxiety is up. It says that corporate execs are prepped and ready to cut the workforces down due to AI in the next 2 years, according to a new corporate survey of the job market conducted by the Mercer consulting firm. A global report surveyed 12,000 respondents across upper-level management, human resources, and lower-level employees. More than 99% of executives surveyed for the report said they expect AI to lead to at least some headcount reduction in the next 2 years. And additionally, fully 90% of executives say they were planning organized design changes in the next 2 years. So yeah, mass layoffs. Already seeing that with Meta. They cut I think it was 8,000 jobs last week. This whole year it's been nothing but layoffs. Spirit Airlines went out of business, and all these different companies. But it's all scriptural. Let's see. Yeah. Not every exec believes the shifting job market is cause for alarm. Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon recently penned a New York Times opinion calling the AI job apocalypse overblown. The United States has a long track record of creating new jobs in response to disruption. So you got some people that are optimistic, but the scriptures say that there's not going to be any work in Egypt. There's all these jobs are eventually going to go away, and you have to rely on that beast system, man, to survive. This is at CBSNews.com. AI job cuts are rising, but experts say layoffs are only part of the story. AI-related layoffs announcements are mounting, fueling the sense that the technology is already replacing a significant number of U.S. workers as companies invest heavily on automation. But AI's broader impact on workers may be quieter. weaker hiring, especially for junior and entry level roles. Yeah, so just like that, the word processor kind of uh, took out the typewriter. This AI is going to take out a lot of jobs as well. But as scriptures say, the day is coming, man. The grinding is low. It says the grinding shall cease. It's, uh, Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Yeah, so now's the time in your youth, man. Remember, now's the time to remember the Creator. Remember Yahweh Shai. Come back, to your nationality. Come back to this truth, and seek the Lord 10 times more. You know, while the sun, the light, the moon, and the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. The day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Yeah, the day of the keepers of the house will tremble. These economists, these people that oversee these jobs, these executives that oversee like the monetary system, hedge fund managers, all that. They're trembling, man. These economists, because they can see it coming. They see this place collapsing, economically. Uh, Strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are free to grind. The jobs. AI job cuts are rising. Yeah, these job cuts are rising. Mass layoffs. Every year, the layoffs get more heavier and heavier, man. You always had layoffs. It was never really a thing about job security, but now just all these businesses, all these companies, they're going out of business. All these old restaurants that you grew up with, they're all going out of business. They've all been out of business. Department stores, malls. I remember malls were big when you were a kid, the 80s and 90s. The malls are dead now. Movie industry's collapsed. Television industry is done. Spirit of America is done, man. They're about to hit that 250-year anniversary of America. Of America being a nation, an empire. And most empires, always crumble around 250 years. So now we're in that time right now. And those that look out the windows be darkened, man. There's no hope in this place. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. The sound of the grinding is low right now, man. And he shall rise with the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Yeah, the music industry is done. There's no good music. But yeah, the grinders cease because they are few. They be a point to where there's no jobs out here, man. It's Ecclesiastes or Second Ezra 6:20. When the world shall begin to vanish away, shall be finished. And the world, Esau's world is vanishing right now, man. Then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall all see it together. Yeah, the internet, man. Yeah, the scriptures and this truth has been pushed, worldwide. And that's how we know we're at the end as well. This word has been pushed, for all nations to hear. Then shall the end come. The children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old. They shall live and be raised up. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Yeah, sown places, you're going to have no, gardeners. This car ain't going to be out here, cutting the lawns, and, blowing leaves, maintaining. The streets aren't going to be maintained. You're going to see weeds popping up all throughout the place because it's not, The sun places appear unsown. So a place is going to collapse. The full storehouse shall suddenly be found empty. You could be able to go to the store, to pick up your medication. CVS, all these different drugstores and different stores, grocery stores and whatnot. You'll be all found empty. Yeah, that's the point. Second Ezra 15. 15. I'll start 15. Second Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, with swords in their hands. Yeah, you're gonna have these race riots, you know, chaos in the streets. Time of Jacob's trouble, man. You see now Trump wants to give the insurrectionists on January 6th. There's like a fund that was set up for them, They're gonna end up getting them paid. That just shows you how, the mindset, the racism, Jake's been fighting for them reparations for the longest time, right? So now they're gonna give reparations to the insurrectionists and whatnot. You broke into the White House and Congress and all that. It goes to show how much they hate you, the Israelites, man. And then that's gonna turn physical. The hate is gonna turn physical, man. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, sedition among men, uprising among men, invading one another, man. All out chaos. A man shall desire to go into the city, shall not be able. They're going to block these cities off. Of the martial law and whatnot. For because of the pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Yeah, men are going to be afraid, man. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for the great tribulation. And the great tribulation is coming, man. Because of the lack of bread. It's going to be a famine. The storehouses are going to be found empty. As we just read, spoil their goods. Going to come up in your house, take what you got, And we're seeing a small portion of that here. There's been a lot of home invasions recently, home break-ins. And you can expect that just to increase more and more as we get closer to this thing. But yeah, that great tribulation, that's all goes into time of Jacob's trouble, man. Jeremiah 30:7, the last for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And the election, man, the hopeful election, man, is going to be saved out of that. They're going to be protected, They'll be guided by Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and the angels, all the way up until the very end. Lord will, but yeah, I just wanted to, a lot of these AI jobs are being cut, or AI cuts are rising. AI job cuts are rising, but experts say layoffs are only part of the story. So this could be more, people losing their jobs, losing their 401ks, losing their pensions, and all that. But yay, that's what we're looking forward to, because these things must come to pass, in order for Yahweh Shai to return and to establish His kingdom on the planet Earth. With that, Shalom.